Welcome, YouTube viewers. My name is Paul Cohen. I am your host for Get High and Preach. I am doing a video because, well, I'm watching Rudy Giuliani's video about the 4 things he said that could happen to Epstein for him to die. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not defending Epstein. Epstein, for however long, you have to imagine that he was doing this for about 50 years to innocent people. Well, I don't like to say innocent people, but children that had no way to defend themselves. And this man exercised his free will over their free will, causing their free will to mean nothing. I have been sexually abused many times when I was a child. I was physically abused. I was physically abused so many times that I thought it was normal. This was by St. Bridget's Church in Philadelphia, PA. There was a huge paddle. They had this paddle, and it had the Alpha and the Omega symbol on each side, and it had holes drilled in it, and it hung on the wall there. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. That monster's dead. There was most likely 2 of them, but that monster's dead, definitely. I don't want to say his name because, well, here's what I know. You become an expert after how many years? Let's say 10 years. Let's say you become an expert after 10 years. Well, I'm an expert. I'm an expert in incarceration, and I could testify as an expert witness in court hearings on drug abuse and etc., etc. One thing I know is this: that when you get a high-profile inmate, especially one who is accused of such heinous crimes as this man was, they're placed in segregation. It's called administrative segregation. Now, I don't know the rules about the federal system. I've never been in the federal system, so I'm not an expert there. But I can imagine that when this thing, I don't even know if he was a human being, was brought into custody, immediately placed in administrative segregation. Okay, that. And then, on top of that, there was the suicide watch when he was found. They don't give up on that. You are butt naked in a smock. Especially someone of that profile. He was killed. They killed him to shut his mouth. Apparently, from what I heard this morning, which makes absolute sense, he was going to cooperate, drop tapes, and people were going to go to jail. Look what Jared did. Subway's infamous maggot. He dropped tapes on everybody. He gave everybody up right away. So, now, let's get this straight. If you think that it was just Jeffrey Epstein, you know, they found Kevin Spacey not guilty. I don't care what they found you. Sexual assault is tantamount with celebrity. The most heinous crimes on earth are committed by the people that are worshipped in this country. And, well, like our president, more power to you. You got away with it, The people are letting you get away with it. Who am I to say anything about that, right? So look, they killed that man. I can't judge whether or not he deserved to die. Personally, my personal opinion, of course, is that of course he deserved to die. But they were not going to put him to death for that. He's not going to receive the death penalty for that. He would have died in jail. But somebody shut him up. Alright, now I know there's 1,000 videos out there about this already. But you know that you know. I know that I know. They took him out to shut his mouth. And I wonder who did it. The old videos that we're seeing, how, Donald Trump, oh, I never liked him and I kicked him out of my club. And look, dude, you were hanging out with him. You quoted, he just likes younger women. There's no way that you didn't know about this. But as an expert, I can tell you that when you're on suicide watch, you're butt naked in a smock, it sucks. Very quickly you learn, well, not everyone, but you will learn very quickly that saying you're going to kill yourself is a mistake. So I think basically that they do that so that you learn your lesson. Don't tell us you're going to kill yourself. Because, generally people that are going to kill themselves don't say a word to anybody. They just kill themselves. And I am recommending that you do not do that. You will answer in the judgment. I'm not saying that everyone that has killed themselves has gone to hell, because I'm not the judge. Jeffrey Epstein is probably in the fire. He's probably being tormented. I can tell you this fact that not many of you are going to like, but it is what it is. That if that man cried out to Christ, he was heard and is in heaven. I don't make the rules. That's just the way it is. But based on the fact that he was probably incapacitated before he was killed. I mean, I don't care what you think or what you believe, or there's no possibility. Because did you see the jail cell that they showed on television? There was no bunk bed. There was just one flat bed in that cell. What did a prisoner get the keys, open the door, and get in there? Nope. Someone with absolute power killed that man. Are we going to... Do we care? Why would we? But it's not up to us to go into someone's jail cell and take them out. Prisoner on prisoner violence. Look, beside that man is the most hated person in the United States right now. And you're going to put him in a cell with another inmate. That right there violates everything. He's not in administrative segregation. That violates all the rules. I don't care. I mean, other than the fact that God loved this man's soul and he did not want him to go to hell. He wants to spend eternity with all of us, because once we're out of this flesh, everything that we've done in this flesh is going to mean absolutely nothing. All the money in the world is not going to stop you from going into the judgment. You may think that whatever's going on in outer space, whatever's flying through space and headed our way, or whatever civilizations existed on other planets. Read the scriptures, read the word, because it's going to tell you quite clearly that there was a war in heaven. And with the breath of his nostrils, Yah destroyed galaxies. Mars may be a direct reflection of that war that was in heaven. Pastors and preachers, don't be afraid to teach this, man, because it's in the Word. All of the things that are going on in this world are in the Word. You just need to know where to look. We're not talking about a piece of silly putty that you can mold it into any way you choose and make it fit. But no, we're talking about straight steel. Unchangeable. Okay? It says, I saw the Elohim come through after the four living creatures, which were a biological machine of some sort. They came through, opened up a portal which shattered our reality, shattered this dimensional reality. And the appearance was like broken crystals. When he came through. So, man, it's mind-boggling. Don't even pretend to understand it, because our minds are just too finite. Man, I probably should have did a different video about this, but hopefully you watch this to the end. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I am not afraid to say all of the things that we're saying in the skies around the world, crashed things on Mars, and I am not afraid to say that that is in the Word. Look it up for yourselves. Look up Ezekiel 1. Look up Matthew 27:51. Look up how many dead were walking the streets. Alright, I got kind of sidetracked. I'm going to do a video about that. But they killed that guy. They killed him to shut him up. It's so sad too, because it would have been so nice to find out what he knew. Who was involved in the crazy sex crap that went on overseas, because you know, in the countries where there are no laws, where you can buy and sell children for a few dollars, I wonder exactly what was going on there. Somebody has tapes. Let the tapes out. Release the videos. And let's see who was involved in that filth. Because I'll bet you I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll bet you might. We know that our leader was a sexual deviant. We know it. His wives know it. He once said, and I quote, "If she wasn't my daughter, I would be dating her." About, I guess it was, I don't remember her name, because I'm really not interested. But I do remember him saying that. If she wasn't my daughter, I would be dating her. The dude is a deviant. Hollywood, I don't know. The body becomes used to one thing and it starts desiring. Especially when it comes to pornography, particularly. It's no longer good enough what you were viewing yesterday. It needs to. You feel the need to feed the fires. So, with that, I'm going to cut the video off and make a video about how many people that were dead got up and were walking around streets.